This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2022 Keystone Bullet Ultralight, and the model number is 290 BHS. Okay, so this is a how-to video, so I'm going to just show you some of the features and how they work. It's not really a floor plan video. So, okay, here we are at the door side rear. You got power stabilizers. One switch will work for both rear, and then you have another switch for both front. Keep in mind that up front in the pass-through storage there's a crank, and the crank will fit on that shaft there with a pin through it, so you can actually crank these manually in an emergency if you have to. So that's a good feature. It can always get you out of trouble. Door into the bathroom, of course. This is just a sprayer port for a sprayer. We have a an outside kitchen here, and this cooktop has to be plugged into the LP system. So down here, let's look a bit here. Down here, there's a quick connect fitting, so you can, let me adjust my monitor here, so you can hook the male end of the hose into that female quick connect, and to get LP to your grill. You also have a small refrigerator out here. Outside speakers, power awning with LED strip. This is a signal out here for your TV plus power, and there's a backing plate here if you wanted to add a outside TV mount. It's up to you. Your water heater. It works on both gas and electric. The switches are inside. I just want to point out that this is where you drain it from. It takes an 1 1/16 6-point socket, so that's where you would drain it from. This is your hitch. It's a Husky centerline weight distribution hitch with built-in sway control. We'll show you how that operates when you pick up. Okay, the crank I told you about that goes over the shaft with the pin is this cylinder with a slot cut into it. So that's how you crank that manually. You also get a 3/4 inch crank, and you can use that one on this power tongue jack. If the power tongue jack happens to fail, you can pull the plug, and you can put the crank on there and crank it manually. So you've got that option also. You got 2 LP tanks, a deep cycle marine battery. This is the kill switch for the battery. If you ever want to shut it off for any reason, you can shut it off right here. Disconnect it from the trailer. This is just a hookup for a solar battery charger panel. If you're interested in getting one of those, it's just an option. It would just be a portable package, and when you plug it in here, it just charges the battery. Okay, this is your dump hose right here. This is your solar controller here, and this is telling us it's got an inverter prep. So it's prepped for a power inverter if you wanted to add that. It's already got the wiring. This is the water dock here, so you can winterize and bypass your water heater from here. You have let me make sure. You have your city water hookup right here, which is the most common way to get water to the trailer. If you don't have city water at the campground, there's no plumbing, you can pre-fill your fresh water tank right there and use your onboard pump to pump it. And also, this is your black tank flush. So after you dump your black tank, you leave the valve open, and you can put the hose on here at the dump station and spray out the inside of your tank. So, but just remember, like it says on that sticker, you gotta have the valve open, the dump valve open, before you turn the water on. Okay, so this type of slide, just so you know, is called an Accu Slide. There are different types. This one's an Accu Slide. This is your 30-foot, 30-amp power cord right here. Okay, we have dump valves down here, of course. Okay. This tells us that it's pre-wired for a backup camera, so you can always add one on. And while we're looking up, please remember that the manufacturer states that you should inspect your roof every 90 days, so you want to have somebody go up there and check out the sealant, make sure it's good and tight. Check out the, let me close this door here. Check out the roofing material and the roofing attachments. Make sure they didn't get damaged by low branches or road debris flying up there or anything like that, okay? Alrighty, so this is your thermostat. It's very simple. You just hit the mode button to go through the modes, and you can put the fan on low and high and auto, whatever. If they give you an option to run the fan on auto, always do it, especially with the air conditioner. So you would pick auto for the fan speed, and that's the best way to run it. Okay, so let's go. Here we are here. Your water pump is right here. These are lights here. Your water pump is right here. Like I told you, the water pump is for the to pump water out of the fresh water tank if you don't have plumbing at the campsite. You also use this pump to winterize the trailer too. All right, to light your water heater on gas, there. To turn on the electric element, right there. Never run this without water in the tank. Okay, that's important. Never run it dry. You have your slide room here and your power awning here. Keep in mind that you always want to roll the awning in when you're not going to be there. Never leave it unattended, because the wind can damage it very quickly. So always keep it in when you're not there. And then you have your levels here. Your battery's charged. Fresh water has water in it because we're prepping it. Black water is empty. There's only one black tank or one toilet in here, so you just pay attention to black tank number 1. And then you go to gray, which is the gray tank 1, which is the bathroom, sink, and shower, and then gray tank 2, which is your galley tank. It's your kitchen sink. Okay. Of course, they graduate up in 1/3 increments as they light up. Once you get past 2/3, you got to start thinking about dumping the black and the gray tanks. Okay. All right. So this device right here is your power converter. So what this does, it converts AC to DC power. So when you're plugged in, this is like your distribution center here. So when you're plugged in, you have these circuit breakers right here, just like you'd see at home. They're all labeled. So that's for 110 AC, and then the power is converted to 12 volt DC on this side. So, and they're labeled. So you got 12 volt fuses, and that's for the 12 volt side. So when you're plugged in, it converts AC to DC power. Now, this is also a battery tender, so this is going to sense how much energy your battery needs, and if it's topped off, it'll just trickle a couple amps to maintain it. If it's low, it'll send 10 amps or whatever it needs. So as long as you're plugged in, your battery is going to be being charged. Of course, when you're pulling it down the road, your tow vehicle's alternator will charge the battery. So, okay. Alrighty. So let's see what else we have here. So this is obviously the microwave works like any other microwave. This is your range hood right here. They get a fan in it plus a light. Your range down here, I don't know if he's got the gas on, so either way I'll just talk you through it. You spark it by turning this clockwise, right? Yeah, it seems like it's on. Let me see if I can work I think it's on, so the tank's been changed, so let me just do this a few times to see if there it goes. So once you get gas up to the burners, you won't have to, it'll click or light the first click, so keep that in mind. But the tank had been on and off, so that's why it's doing it this way. But once you, like I said, once you get the gas up to the burners, you don't have to worry about that. Okay, let's shut it off and do it again. This should have already been done, but he's still prepping it. So there's the other one, and there's the back one. Okay. So the oven is a little different. You have the oven knob here, sparkers here. Like I said, you turn it clockwise. Now if you look back there, there's a pilot light at the bottom all the way to the back. You can spark it. The thing to remember is you're gonna put this on pilot light, which is the picture of the flame, and then you depress it. You keep it depressed. Also the lighting procedure. Then you're going to light it, and after it lights, you're going to hold it in for another 10-15 seconds or so to heat up the thermocouple. Then you go to operating temperature. It cycles on and off like an oven does. When you shut it off, the flame goes out, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Always travel with this shut. Okay, so your refrigerator is a DC compressor refrigerator, so it runs off of DC power. Okay. When it comes to your sound, you have AM/FM radio. You have Bluetooth, so you can stream wirelessly from your phone or tablet. You've got a USB port here, so you can put all your albums on one USB stick and take them with you. You have an HDMI in right there that goes into the system. Let's say you wanted to use a portable Blu-ray player. Well, you could plug it right in there. It has 2 speaker zones, 1 and 2. 1 is inside the trailer, 2 is outside the trailer, so it does all that. And of course, this is the remote for it here. And then this is your TV remote, works like any other TV. Let me see what we have here. Let me just look back here for a second to see what we have. Okay, so you do have a swing out bracket, and it looks like it has a magnet on it, so it'll lock itself into place, I believe. Okay, so you have your theater seats here. You can drop this table down onto these cleats here, and then you can use the cushion to fill in the space. You can turn this into another bed. You also have 2 bunks, of course. Your sink and shower work like any other sink and shower. Okay. You have a GFCI right here. Just remember, all the plugs in the trailer, even the one on the outside, are wired through a GFCI, so you're always going to reset it inside if it ever pops. The toilet works like any other RV toilet in that. Let me see if I can get some room here. This is the flush pedal right here. So directly below is the black tank, down there, right? So when the black tank is empty, let's say it this way. When you get to the campground, you hook up your power and your water, then you come inside and you'll put a dose of chemical in the bowl, and then you'll stand on the pedal and put about a gallon or so of water in there, and you're all set. At least a gallon. Some people use more, it's up to you. But the main thing is you can't use it dry. You have to have that chemical and water in there, otherwise the smell will be terrible and it can get clogged up. So you always want to make sure that you have the chemical and water in there. Okay? That's important, obviously. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Let me see. Look around a little bit. There's one thing I haven't found yet. Okay. let me look a little bit more. It's around here. Well, isn't that something? Let me get some light here. Okay, let me look one more time here. What I'm looking for is the carbon monoxide LP gas detector. Oh, here it is right here. Okay. Right under my nose. So this will detect carbon monoxide and LP gas buildup. If it goes off, you take everybody outside, obviously, figure out what's going on. It should always be green. The LED should always be green. If not, you want to get it serviced. Also, if it beeps very slowly, the same tone, but very slowly, it's telling you your battery's low. So I'm going to put it through a self-test so you can hear it. If I can find the button here. Let me look here. There it is. LP is good, carbon monoxide coming up. So that's basically it. That's the low battery alarm. Same tone, just slower beep, and then back to green. Like I said, it should always be green. Okay? Alright. Let me see what else we have here. These are your keys, obviously, hanging on the faucet. This is pre-wire for a public Wi-Fi signal booster and or 4G, but it's mainly people will use the Wi-Fi booster function. If you were to do that, there's also a hookup on the roof where your an antenna would go. So it's just an add-on if you wanted to get better Wi-Fi. Let me see here. So let me look outside to make sure I don't. Well, let me go back to the bedroom here. I'm sorry. This obviously the bed pulls up and there's storage underneath it. You have hookups for your TV if you want to put a bracket there. If you get one, get the swing out bracket that swings out towards the bed so you can get a good view of it. This is your escape window. If you want to escape, push it all the way open and then grab this red tab here and pull the screen out, and you can escape that way. Okay. Alrighty. So I look around. Okay, I think I covered it. Let me walk outside for a second here. There's one thing I'm leaving out. Excuse me again. Okay, let me get back so I can take a look here. I saw a solar controller, so I have to figure out what's happening here. I didn't prep this trailer. Look. See a solar panel up there, Kyle? Here, let me look at the controller here. Yeah. So this is your charger controller for your solar. So yes, it does. And this will just send, as it converts sunlight to amps, it'll just send it to your battery for storage. Like I said, you have an Accu Slide. And you're pre-wired for a backup camera. Okay. So anyway, I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember that that the manufacturer says every 90 days you should inspect the roof. That's important just to protect your investment. Odds are you won't have to do anything for a long time, but that's why you're inspecting it, to make sure. These are the stabilizer jack buttons here, front and rear. You never lift the trailer with the jacks, you just stabilize it. And then this is your hookups for campground satellite and TV, and it's glowing blue there telling us that it's powered. So it's actually a powered signal booster, which is a good thing. You have the same, I showed you a port on the other side where it takes a sprayer. This does also, and the sprayer is, hopefully you can see it, there's right back there in that plastic bag, okay? All right, so make sure you inspect your roof, and also right now this trailer's been de-winterized, so all the antifreeze has been purged out. The water heater's in camping mode and filled with water, so it's all ready to be used right now. Never light your water heater without gas in the water heater tank. I mean, without water in your water heater tank, okay? Thank you.